Wigglytuff has always been a terrible and forgettable Pokemon, so you're probably wondering, why did it get not one, but two different Mega Evolutions, an Apex form, and an insanely powerful Primal form? Obviously, it has nothing to do with developer bias. So are these new Megas and new forms worth it, and are they finally able to make Wigglytuff a respectable Pokemon? Now, Wigglytuff is a bad Pokemon, but there have been some efforts to improve it, raising its special attack from 85 to 113 and raising its special defense to 80, but it still wasn't impressive. So they decided the next best thing was to give it a brand new Mega Evolution. Mega Wigglytuff drops its normal typing and becomes a Fire Fairy type, a type combination that doesn't exist yet in the mainline games. And it's pretty good with 7 resistances, an immunity, and only 4 weaknesses. Its stats are really interesting now, sporting 140 in special attack, which will definitely leave a mark. It's not very fast, but it's definitely bulky with 120 in HP paired with 108 in special defense. Its defense is bad, but misleading because of its abilities. Now, what great abilities does Mega Wiggly get? Well, if you're looking for more power and looking to take advantage of its Fire Stab, the ability Combustion. Combustion will boost the power of its fire type moves by 50%, but Wigglytuff doesn't learn any fire moves. Yes, that is true, but Mega Wigglytuff has the Immolate ability, making all normal type moves fire and increasing their power by 10%. Moves like Hyper Voice, Hyper Beam, and Energy Wave all are really strong options to run. Combustion is only useful for helping its fire damage, but if you want to use its bulk to help increase its attack, there is a better choice. The ability Tipping Point will give Mega Wigglytuff a +1 in special attack every time it's hit, making it stronger and stronger with each turn. This really isn't a problem since it has so much bulk and decent recovery with Wish or Draining Kiss. With Tipping Point, its special attack will be maxed if it's crit, which is a really bad thing to see. It can be really challenging to get through with special attacks, but its defense is not as vulnerable as you think. Since it has the innate ability Fur Coat, all physical attacks power will be cut in half, making it more likely it will survive a hit. So no matter how you try to attack it, you'll need a good amount of power to get through. Lastly, it gets Magic Guard, which lets it only get damaged by attacks. It can't hold a Life Orb, so it's only really useful for keeping it safe from hazards and poison, and for its physical sets. Star Crash is a physical fairy move with recoil, so it's nice that it ignores that damage, or protects it from the off chance that Jump Kick misses. There are still risks you take when hitting it because the innate ability Balloon Bomb combines Inflatable, which will increase defenses by 1 if hit by a flying or fire type move, and Aftermath, which will take 25% of their HP when taken out with a contact move. Mega Wigglytuff is definitely a solid Mega, and when playing its matchups right, can become a real problem for a team to face. Now, like I said, you could run a physical Mega Wigglytuff, but if you want a more effective Wiggly option, you can go with Mega Wigglytuff Y. The second Wigglytuff Mega is very much focused on sweeping. This time, dropping normal for fighting and wastes no time with that defense nonsense. Dropping special defense down to 40 and raising its speed from 45 to 135 and raising its attack from 70 to 133. It went from a pink marshmallow to a fighting machine. Of course, it has plenty of abilities to make its power even more of a threat to your team. Violent Rush can be what it needs to outspeed some of the fastest Pokemon in the game with its 50% speed boost on the first turn, alongside the 20% increase to attack to ensure they don't see another turn. It's a nice burst of power, but can only be used once, so you'll have to use it wisely or switch it out at some point. Avenger can also only be used once, but will give a 50% increase to its next move, but only after a teammate has fainted. It can give Mega Wigglytuff Y more Pokemon it's capable of going up against. Since its normal type moves are back to normal, you'll want to take advantage of its new fighting stab. Scrappy is there to ensure Ghost can't hide from Wiggly's power. It also blocks the effects of Scare and Intimidate. But Wigglytuff welcomes Intimidate because it has the ability Defiant, raising its attack by 2 stages if any stat is lowered. So if a Fearmonger Pokemon dares to try to slow it down, it may just end up sweeping the entire game, as it fires off tons of boosted moves thanks to Combat Specialist, increasing all kicking and punching moves by 30%. 1-Inch Punch, Mega Kick, Cutesy Slap, and priority moves like Rolling Kick and Mach Punch, all being boosted and all of them actually hitting twice. Balloon Blitz combines the previously mentioned inflatable ability with Hyper Aggressive, which makes all moves hit twice. No Focus Sash will save you. Mega Wigglytuff Y is the best option if you just want a fast, powerful sweeper that can do the dirty work for your team, as soon as it becomes available, of course. Of course, they weren't done yet with our pink friend. One more form was needed. Wigglytuff Apex is the last of the Wiggly forms, with improved stats and a brand new moveset, but it's not at full strength unless it's holding the ancient apple, transforming it into Primal Wigglytuff. Primal Wigglytuff is a normal fairy type with an impressive base stat total of 635. 120 in HP alongside 115 in special defense is an absolute wall, but you can't ignore the 155 in special attack. 90 in speed is not broken, but Pokemon that are slower will have no chance of stopping it. So, what great abilities does Primal Wigglytuff get? Well, it wouldn't be a Primal without a brand new signature ability. Apple Enlightenment is the combination of Fur Coat, helping out its lower defense, and Magic Guard, protecting it from any extra damage. Magic Guard is really only there to protect it from one thing: the recoil damage from its 140 base power Stab Fairy move, Light of Ruin. One of the strongest fairy moves in the entire game, and now it has no drawback. With Primal Wigglytuff's special attack, nobody wants to be on the receiving end of it. A special attack that will get stronger and stronger because it has Soul Heart, raising special attack by 1 every time it gets a knockout. In double battles, it actually gets a +1 for every Pokemon that gets taken out on the field, giving it more power for all of its great moves like Apple Acid, which is 80 base power and lower special defense each time. Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam are all amazing coverage moves. They're much stronger than they seem because Primal Wigglytuff has Arcane Force, giving all moves stab and increasing the damage of super effective moves by 10%. The power it has is ridiculous, and it's very challenging to get a good matchup for it, but it can also be a huge pain to remove. Stockpile lets it build up both of its defenses. Draining Kiss can get it more health back, but it can also use recovery moves like Moonlight. Once those defenses are built high enough, there's no stopping the sweep. You can try lowering its stats, whether that's its speed or its defenses, but with the competitive ability, you're really risking it as its special attack doubles. There's just so many things it can do, and it would be a huge problem to deal with. Since it's a Primal, it doesn't even take up a Mega slot. Primal Wigglytuff is just insane and is the ace Pokemon of the Mono Fairy Champion, a fight that is currently not available yet, which means Primal Wigglytuff is not accessible yet. Honestly, it might be for the best because fighting this thing is gonna be a nightmare. The Wigglytuff line is more than just a joke now and is actually a real threat. In permanent Mega Mode, you can have a full team of these beasts if you include Screamtail. But let me know what you think about Primal Wigglytuff and the new Mega Evolutions. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more. Shout out to all our great members, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.